The contents of this show are for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. Any information on the show does not create a client-therapist relationship and should not be taken as professional advice. Before making any decisions regarding your healthcare, ask your personal physician or mental health care professional, or call 911 for any emergencies.
We are three friends exploring connection, from the coffee shop to the podcast studio. I'm Amy.
I'm Anna.
I'm Erin. Woo! We're back, people.
We are back.
Making fun of Anna. So feels like old times here.
You love it.
So there's new headphones in the studio, and Anna
the cord is super
has this
tight.
issue.
The cord is coiled very, very tightly.
So
Every time.
it's a new discovery of
How annoyed Anna gets with the headphones.
she gets in the zone of piss.
Well, and then I have to like wrap it around my
my
mic stand thing, and see, these two don't understand because they are sitting close to the thing, so their headphones aren't stretched.
Okay, so
They're living the high life. They don't even know.
The high life.
So here's the deal. A week ago, we were going to have our kickoff to season 2 live episode.
Yep, with an
But-
audience.
With an audience.
at
We
the
were
House of
prepared.
Pod, and
Live
we were gonna
recording.
dance with Biggie around all
We had a
the
big,
studio.
big plans.
Yeah.
Big plans, but instead a blizzard came.
Total buzzkill.
Buzzkill.
hmm But it was so nice, I feel like, with the feedback that we got from everybody, and just like, oh, bummer, and
Yeah.
we're going to reschedule.
But
But guess,
several good luck text messages.
yeah,
from me that
yeah,
day.
really sweet. But
Yeah, we had to cancel.
we had to cancel.
So
So,
Mother Nature has different plans.
so
Yeah.
we're going to do this little episode here today,
Yeah.
right?
Just the intro to the season,
Intro to the season.
reflections we've had.
Yep.
Welcome to season 2.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Can you
We're
believe
so
it?
glad you're here.
It's a big one.
So the kickoff for season 2
Yep.
is happening right now.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And before we go into all the exciting things that are coming up in season 2, we have a couple. Well, first we have a little Starbucks gift card action. Anna, what's
so
going
we
on
have
with that?
a fun giveaway going on. We did this for the launch of the podcast, and it was so fun and so awesome that we decided we wanted to do it again. So what it is we're giving away $5 gift cards to Starbucks. So what you need to do to get that is leave us a review, listen to some episodes, then leave us a review, and screenshot it, send it to hello@lessalonepodcast.com. And just so you know, it does take 24 hours for reviews to appear. So if yours doesn't appear right away, that's okay.
That's why you got the screenshot.
Yeah, that's why you got the screenshot. And then we will send you a Starbucks gift card for the first. We have $75 worth to give away. So go ahead and get your reviews in ASAP so you can get that.
The math was tricky on that, huh?
Yeah. I'm like, what?
You're like, just $75 worth. Do the math yourself.
You guys get your calculators out, figure out how many we're giving away.
I was like, I got nothing.
Yeah. So math. It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
Yeah. So we would love your reviews and ratings and all the things. Send us a screenshot.
What's the email address again?
hello@lessalonepodcast. And if you're one of the people that get your review in first, you will earn yourself a Starbucks gift card. So do that, please, if you love the podcast.
Sweet.
If you don't love the podcast, do not leave a rating or review. Thanks.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Good.
Okay,
That's good.
that's
So
good.
the other thing that we wanted to do before we tell you what's coming up in season 2 are a few confessions that we
Yes.
have about season 1
Yep.
and confessions, reflections. Yeah.
Now that it's been a little bit of time here.
It's been a little bit of time.
Yep.
And we found some humor in the three of us doing a podcast about connection based on...
Because we're not awesome at it all the time, let's be honest.
No, sometimes we actually suck at it.
Right.
Or I'll speak for myself.
Yes.
Now you can speak for us.
Yes. Yeah.
Y'all suck at connection.
Yeah. So we had some funny...
So you engage in things that you need to learn, right?
Yeah.
And so this is why we're doing
It's like
this.
fascinating.
That's so true. You
Yes.
engage in things you need to learn.
Yep.
Or you
Well, some
engage
people
in
do, I
things
think.
that
Not
you...
everybody.
Well, because we're
Probably
so
not
healthy.
everybody.
That's true.
Anna likes to say that we're healthy all the time, so that's
We
Well,
are super healthy.
I think too. So we had that article come out in 5280 magazine, and I found it so funny that the word advice was in that article.
right.
Like we have,
we have all the answers.
as if we have answers. But I'm going to start this little confession session off, and just to let y'all know, this is the irony for me for season 1. So here I am doing a podcast on connection, and yet I am in the midst of getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Irony.
Irony
Right.
right there.
Mhm.
Yes. What about you, Aaron?
So I was on a hike in the fall with some of my old friends from camp, and one of my friends, we were talking, and she was saying, like, oh, I was listening to the podcast, and then we were talking about, I don't know what episode it was, about questions that you can ask people or whatever, and I started to try to rattle off some things, and I'm like, actually, I'm really terrible with questions, and I really don't know how I'm not good with surface level conversation, and it's also sometimes hard for me to have, so with the interviews coming up, right, it's hard for me to have conversations with people that are at a medium surface. And so like I can ask people in therapy, we can go very deep, but that's not super appropriate for interviews. And so, well, it is kind of, but not in that capacity. And so, yeah, so that I'm still don't know how to do small talk, and I still don't know how to connect with people that I don't know super well unless it's in the therapy context. So that is my confession of connection.
So we've got, I'm doing a podcast about connection and I'm getting a divorce. And then
We're doing a podcast about connection, and a friend asks, so what are good questions? And I have no idea.
Yeah. And then I had a recent situation where I went to a conference and I never met this person, and I was just talking to her, and I said something and her face dropped, and I was like, oh shit, I fucked this up big time. I'm like, oh man, that took a left turn. I'm like, and then just over and over at that conference, I was like, man, I feel like I'm really not doing this connection thing right.
It's hard a lot of times. Yeah.
Okay, I have another one. So I'm doing a podcast about connection, and my mom told me I lied on the podcast about Barbies. That was really great.
Do you want to say like what she...
Oh, yeah. So it was the episode, I think, about connection to our bodies. And I was not allowed to have Barbies as a kid. And my sister and I were recently talking with my mom. Well, actually, no. After the episode aired, my mom called and was like, Amy Elizabeth, do you really not know why I didn't let you have Barbies? Because I guess that's what I said on the podcast. And I was like, not really. I mean, I think it was something about body image. And then my sister, she chimed into the conversation at one point, and she was like, oh no, we could not have Barbies because mom said we couldn't have them unless we had a body like theirs. And there's no way that we could get a body like theirs. And so there's no reason to have such a ridiculous toy.
Okay. Did your mom agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like, my mom said, I don't remember putting it exactly like that, but her whole thing was like, she didn't want Barbies in the house because she didn't want us to think that like that's the body we should have or aim to have.
Right.
Thanks, Mom.
Then we're doing a podcast about connection, and my mother was talking to me about whenever we're talking about reaching out or something like that. And she was like, well, mothers are included in the reaching out and that you should call your mother once a week. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll get on that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom, I have a mom story too about that. And she's like, I know you think you're really good at connection, but you have some things to work on. I'm like, okay, Mom. And we like to go to Vala's Pumpkin Patch in Omaha, Nebraska. If you are near it, go to it. It's amazing. But we like to go every year. And I was actually a total bitch to my mom this year. From some outside things happening. And I had to send her a text.
Feeling like you were a stellar connector.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Coming after that conference, and I was there, and I'm like, man, I'm
Gold
just...
stars, Anna.
I literally am like my worst self with her. Like, sorry, Mom, but I had to send her a text and be like, man, sorry I was such a bitch.
Right.
And what about, so doing this podcast, and we do, Aaron's giving me a confused look.
I'm just intently paying attention.
Oh, okay. I'm like...
I think I know where you're headed.
Yeah, so we like have been doing this podcast about connection, and we tried to do a couple episodes in one weekend, and we got so sick of each other.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah.
We're doing a podcast about connection, and we fight like siblings.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Anna likes to poke me, so that's what happens.
Yeah.
Anna likes to poke
and
me
I would
like
say
an
vice versa.
Yes, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. This is true.
Oh, good. See?
Mhm.
Look at this good middle child here jumping in. Good. Taking the
Very
role.
diplomatic.
You know it.
Yep. Keeping it
So
fair.
I'm going to go back to my original connection and just say a couple more things that I think is like, it just adds to the irony of it all.
Yeah.
Is that I think that this podcast is such a gift, even though it's super ironic that, like, you know, I'm going through this divorce, and for all of you out there who have gone through this, like, whoa, you know, it is intense and so difficult, and I am here for you. And I have to say that it's like the podcast about connection has just made me, I mean, I knew that was like a core value, and how like grateful I am to be able to fight like siblings with y'all and like be able to connect through this venue and such strong, like develop such strong friendships, and really like to learn about what kind of connection I want as I am now reinventing myself. So the irony is there, and so is the gift.
I think for sure. And
Yeah.
just the gift of like, because it kind of happened all in a whirlwind so
Yeah.
fast. And so just like I feel real grateful for that we get this time together, and that we get to talk to all these really cool people in the season coming up, and learn from them. And then it's because I think it's purposeful time to stop and reflect, which is, I am really grateful, and talk about it, because I feel like we can talk about these things at coffee, but we get way more. We go into it.
Yeah.
Just it's been awesome.
Yeah.
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 Well, and I think too, like hearing like, you know, saying like, yeah, we fight like siblings. The part of that is really so cool is that what makes it different than just like a regular old friendship is that, see, we're just so great at so many things. Is that
oh my God. She likes to build our validation skills.
Is that we know that it's unconditional in a way.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
Yes.
like it's the coming back. It's the like, okay, you can say something offensive and I'll still love you.
Yes.
Or we'll
Absolutely.
like fuck shit up, or we'll poke each other, and it's like, oh, whatever, I still love you. Like, I'm gonna.
Or I can be a real direct bitch, and you guys will be like,
we love you.
Amy, are you irritable today?
Yes, I am. How about that the other day?
No, you were like on the table, like
We were dealing with
laying
scheduling
down on the
stuff.
table, and Amy's got her hand in her head. I'm like, wow, she's real prickly. I'm like, Amy, are you irritable? And she's like, picks her head up real slow and was like, actually, yes. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
And then I had to apologize. And then y'all reminded me that you'll love me no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
And oh my God, thank you. Yeah.
And I think we all know that. Like,
Yes.
like
Yes.
however you show up, just show up. We'll love
Yes.
you wherever you're at, whatever you're going
Yep.
through. Like,
Yep. Yeah. But I think too, the other thing that's really interesting that I have learned about connection and what I want from connection, what kind of connection I want, is that it definitely takes effort and work
Yes.
and like being intentional.
Yeah.
And so I think that, you know, even like friends in my life who have reached out, you know, during this more difficult time for me, I just see like, oh man, the importance of these people. And really going forward, like, I just want to intentionally connect more. And I think the podcast, it's just made it so front and center. You know, this connection, what I want, how am I going to do it? Who do I want to do this with? Who is safe? Where is there like a give and take type of relationship,
Right.
you know, not one-sided or whatever it might be. But I think that it's just, I've learned a lot.
A lot. Me too.
Yeah.
So,
Same here.
yeah. And what we realized is that we can learn so much from other people.
Yeah, because we're kind of bad at connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Turns out.
We're learning.
So for season 2, we are super excited because we have found all these people who have amazing stories about connection. And what we decided to do for season 2,
And Aaron alluded to it a little earlier.
is interviews.
Yeah.
So we're alternating. The first week, we're going to start off actually tomorrow.
Yep.
There's going to be our first interview that's going to come out, and it is an incredible story. And then the next week, it will just be the 3 of us in studio kind of talking about some things that came up for us during the interview. So we find a topic and then we'll talk about that and bring resources and hopefully more helpful tips and things like that.
And I wanted that format felt important because when I'm listening to podcasts on different shows, when they interview really cool people, but then you just get the interview, which is awesome. But then I really want to know what are the nuggets that picked out and then further discussion about what they talked about on the episode. And so that's what we hope to bring, further discussion about what amazing things the person had to say. So
Yeah, it's kind of like the launching off point for the episode of like, okay, what stood out regarding connection and the tidbits
yeah, I had serious fangirl
with some of our guests.
with some of our guests.
Yeah. Should
yes,
we-
you did. Anna, who are they?
Yes,
Yes.
so for season 2 coming up.
You love the drum roll, AD.
Okay, so we have Kelsey and Brian of A Light We Share. Wow. We have Maria Seal of mariaseal.com and the 52 List Project. We have Sarah Kozlowski of the KidConsciousProject.com. We've got Aaron Eddy of SoWorthLoving.com. We have Sadie Lincoln of Bar 3. Her workshop is what kind of prompted this whole thing and the topic for the whole podcast about us realizing we had connection as a similar value in our lives.
Yes.
So, and then we have Katie Garces of katiegarces.com. We have Heather Burkauer of ParentingSafeChildren.com.
Powerful.
Oh, yeah. We have John Weisbarth,
So fun.
one of the hosts of Tiny House Nation. And we have Tiffany Jenkins of JugglingTheJenkins.com and author of High Achiever, the book.
And I read that book. It's so good. And she's amazing. That's where I fangirled out like a champion.
Yeah. And the wonderful, amazing Ariel Britt of Beauty and the Grit podcast.
So great.
We are so excited. And we have some amazing sponsors coming up for this
We do.
season.
Yep.
Holy cow.
Mustache Coffee Club.
Yeah.
Yep. We've got, who else do we
Tico
got?
Tea.
Tico Tea. Yeah.
Icelandic tea. Let us know if you want to buy some from me.
Yeah, just send an email to hello@LessAlonePodcast and we'll hook you up with that. Who else do we got? Oh, Juju Be Gone.
Juju Be Gone.
We are doing a freaking collab with him.
Yes, so
Yeah.
It's
there-
amazing.
It is amazing. There's a Cozy Up and Listen, Juju Be Gone, and Less Alone podcast gift box.
Yeah.
And you know what else is coming?
What?
Less Alone podcast playlist.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
Aaron,
got a
you're
chill
put-
mix. And we got a pump it up hype mix, actually, is what Anna called it. So
I like
we'll go with
that.
Hype
Yeah.
mix. And then what was the thing on Spotify that you were talking about?
Oh, yeah. We can do a collaborative playlist so we can find out what your favorite hype or chill, or should we mix them up or just keep it as one list? So we'll have our hype list, we'll have our chill list that we create, and then we can have a Less Alone podcast community list with all of your favorites.
Love it.
So we'll put that in the show notes. Super, super fun.
That's super fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that. That's
share
I think it's
share
a
your
new
favorites.
thing.
Well,
That's great.
Spotify's doing something well.
Yeah, they're doing a really good thing. So I think that's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
And
There's
music
a lot
is like
of exciting things happening
Yeah.
in season 2.
Yeah.
We're excited.
also another thing coming for this season is we have ads in season 2. And so it helps. So we've been paying for this podcast production out of pocket, and it's not cheap. So like, this is why we have ads and sponsors this season. And so we need
so that
your
we
support.
can keep producing.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to keep doing this.
That's why we have the review stuff, because that helps with sponsorship. Yep.
Yeah, so like, this is a way for us to keep making the show, keep providing value to you, make it a sustainable thing. So when you like support these sponsors that we have carefully chosen for the show, you're helping us continue doing what we're doing. And we appreciate that so much when you support our sponsors. So MustacheCoffeeClub.com is one of the sponsors. They've been sending us coffee to keep us caffeinated.
Yeah.
It's a subscription.
Yep.
Delicious.
Box. It's so good.
Yep.
And that's the other thing. We are only choosing sponsors and brands to collaborate with that are truly in alignment with what we're doing. We're not going to just spam you with a whole bunch of bullshit that sucks. So
Mustache Coffee started in LA and now they're in Oregon, and they roast their coffee the day before it ships.
Yeah.
And so
it's crazy fresh.
It's
Yes.
crazy
And
fresh.
then
it makes a
what's
big
the date
difference.
thing?
Yeah, so they don't have an expiration date. Instead, they have a drink after date.
Because it's that damn fresh.
Yeah, because there's certain time, I want to say it's like 3 days maybe after roasting is the ideal time to drink the coffee. And so that the roasting maybe settles. I have no idea. I'm just totally pulling that out of my ass right now.
You're doing a great job. I
I
believe you.
believed it.
Okay, good,
I was like,
good.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, so,
Settles.
Yeah,
Settles.
yeah, settles into the bean. Anyway,
Yeah, let's just go with that.
good.
Yep.
So they send out a new flavor, and they're very particular about fair trade and fair pay.
Paying over market.
Yes.
They
Which
pay
is
over
important.
market.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
they're an ethical company doing
Yep.
great, sustainable things.
Wait, I want to talk about one other very important sponsor of ours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tico Tea. I really hope you check this out because it is Icelandic tea, meaning that they use all kinds of native Icelandic herbs and they mix them into different blends.
But also,
So,
they're like the highest northernmost tea.
green tea
That's amazing.
plantation.
That's
Yes.
crazy, because you hear about all in warm climates, in Iceland. It's not a warm climate.
Yeah. And their like premium green tea is very, it was like award winning for green tea in the world. And yeah, they are working on scaling that plantation. And so obviously that one is the most expensive tea, but they also have these incredible blends. So there's 3 green tea options, three black tea options, and all of them have the Icelandic herbs. So they are delicious.
Yeah, you like came in raving about it.
Yes. And I'm a huge fan. But I have to tell you, the owner I am even a bigger fan of hers. And she works with women business owners in Iceland. And she really she loves our podcast. She knows how important the work is.
Does she know Bjork?
I do not know, but I will
Because
ask
I
her.
love me. some
That was the
Bjork.
first CD I ever had.
So quiet.
Yes.
Oh God,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
go
remember picking out that.
Let's add it to the playlist.
ahead. Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Amy.
You're
Yes.
smart.
Good.
So I just got to say, I'm a huge, huge supporter of not only the flavor of the tea, but mostly the woman who has started the company and what she's doing for other women and other women in business in Iceland and how much she supports podcast.
Yeah,
Our
it's so
podcast.
cool.
So-
We appreciate it so much.
Oh my gosh. And to have that like international connection and just knowing like it doesn't matter where you are. Like it
This
doesn't
is
matter.
a human issue.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a human need to
Yes.
find true connection. And, men, women, children, like it doesn't matter.
Everybody
you know?
needs that connection.
You know what also that reminds me of? You know what we've tried to perfect this season coming up? Amy's favorite thing? the perfect high five.
Yes. Shall we practice?
Oh my God.
One more. Okay, so I was teaching Anna about the perfect high five. If you are not
Because apparently
sure,
I'm really bad at
she's
high-fiving.
terrible. Actually, not
I
even
keep
bad.
trying.
Terrible. I know you're persistent, so that's good. Is you look at your standing where your arms are out, and then I'm looking at Anna's elbow, and Anna's looking at my elbow.
I just want you all to know that by the end of season 2, you are going to be so annoyed with the perfect
Yeah.
high
You are
five.
Not.
No, you're going to love it.
And so
No.
the issue was, well,
And still is.
it still is that you're supposed to go out. So I look at the elbow and then you go straight out from there and it makes this perfect noise. However, Anna, we're working on coordination,
I'm bad at coordination.
keeps going up and then we miss. And so it's Amy's favorite thing and she gets real annoyed like right now. Tell us about that
Hear
experience,
about
Amy.
it all the time. It's so annoying.
That was a pretty good
So-
segue because you didn't even know it was coming.
I did not know it was coming.
Also,
I didn't know it was
not.
coming.
I know.
I'm like, oh, we get to practice?
I
Yeah.
thought you might talk about nut juice. But
Oh
anyway,
my God.
I'm going to just quick say.
I saw
you
this
gotta
thing on
back up.
Instagram. This is hilarious. So I saw this thing on Instagram.
You can't just say nut
No,
juice
you
and
can't.
then
No,
like,
no.
okay,
So
now
I
to
saw
the
this
next
thing
thing.
on Instagram, and it says something about, you know why companies should just call almond milk nut juice. And I showed this to them, and Anna's face like contorted into disgust.
Went to the gutter.
Went to the gutter, and so
But I love it. I love that
and so
dirty
so when I can
joke.
make Anna kind of get queasy or uncomfortable in her seat, then I've done my job for the
Because
day.
you are the youngest.
Yep.
Well, and so it's
My
so
sisters
funny.
are gonna so appreciate this shit, by the way.
I have told my sisters, like, we have this texting thing, and whenever, well, it's actually with my twin sister, not my younger sister, but with my twin sister, if we can get each other to say ooh or like do the barf emoji, we know we've done our job.
Yep.
It's like the goal is to take it so far that it's like, ooh,
Please
that
don't.
is
Yeah.
it's just nasty. So the nut juice.
We have our merch shop.
Yes.
So that's really
Swag it away.
Yeah. Buy your sweatshirts, hats, mugs.
All the proceeds
So awesome.
go to helping the production of the show.
costs.
Like, so we're trying to find some clever ways to continue to do the podcast.
And post that stuff on social media. So
Yeah.
I would like to give a
Yeah,
shout
yeah,
out to
yeah.
our first buyer, which was Sherry.
Yeah.
Whoop,
Sherry.
whoop,
Yeah.
Sherry.
So, all right. One last thing. We have created a 6-step roadmap to instant connection. It's so cool. We've worked on it together. It's got like while we may suck at connection sometimes, this
Has helped
does
us.
not suck. And it's like
And we're
a
not
cheat sheet.
terrible.
Yeah, we're
Right.
not terrible
Right,
at it.
right,
It's
right,
just
right.
we have room to grow and we're exploring it. And
Yes.
Yes.
we're curious and,
We hope the roadmap helps.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
so
it
this
is.
Because those
roadmap-
are the things that have helped us.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. Learn from our mistakes. These are the things that work. So it's completely awesome. If we do say so
If you
ourselves.
ever want to feel good about yourself, have Anna around because she'll keep validating.
I'll be
Yep.
your hype person.
Yep, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
We all
so
need one of those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my love language is words of affirmation, so that's
Good.
how I share love.
Yep.
So
Okay.
the roadmap.
So the roadmap. Thanks.
Okay.
Connection
Land the plane.
Okay, connectionroadmap.com. It's awesome. Go get yours. 6-step roadmap to instant connection.
All right. And
Okay.
enjoy the first interview tomorrow.
Brian
Yeah,
Kelsey,
it's going to be
it's a
awesome.
good
Oh,
one.
it's
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
so
This
good.
guy died twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting lots of hand signals. I don't know
Okay.
what they mean.
Okay.
It means we need to stop talking.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening. You can find more about this episode and a way to connect to the community at lessalonepodcast.com. And if you like us, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave a review. It helps other people find us and could be just what they need.